Hey guys, it's Zuhi. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the latest releases of this month, and I will say with some of these products I had a good time to try them out, to feel them out, so I feel like I can give you guys a good impression. We have, skincare, we have new skincare, new base products, cushions, our eyeshadow palette, and yeah, let's get started right away because there's a lot of things here. So let's start off with skincare. First I have the Makeprem SaveMe line and their new Radiance Me Mild Ascension Peeling. Now I mentioned this recently in my vlog, which should be up by now. This is definitely a love at first sight. So this is a chemical exfoliator, but it's the one where you kind of roll over your face and then you wash it off because it peels off. And this does such an amazing job in exfoliating my skin. After I use this, once I use my skincare, the skincare settles so nicely into my skin. So this does an excellent job, and it's not as harsh as the other peeling exfoliators, like the ones that I've tried. The product still leaves my skin feeling very moisturized and supple and nice even after I use this. However, I don't use it more than maybe once or twice a week. Twice only if it's necessary, but once is sufficient enough for me. And I've just been loving the heck out of this one. I also have the Makeprem SaveMe line, so I have the ampoule and the cream. These two have been so good to me, and this Makeprem has green propolis in it. Green propolis is a type of propolis, obviously, and it's known to have very strong anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. And this is a really, really good hydrator. This ampoule, it doesn't seem to have a lot of hydrating power at first sight because the formula is pretty light. But I noticed that I don't really need to use another ampoule when I use this one, or I don't need to layer it up, so excellent. And it does have a very strong scent, and I thought it was a fragrance, but it's actually the natural scent of the green propolis, so I don't need to worry about that. And this cream I also really have been enjoying, especially now that I do need to do a better job of moisturizing my skin. And don't worry guys, I will have the best creams to use for the winter up very soon, next week at latest. And this I will say is a bit more thicker, so if you have really oily skin, I don't think this is the one for you. But if you have dehydrated skin, if you have maybe dry skin, I highly recommend. And especially this works great beneath makeup. I've just been really enjoying this a lot. This one doesn't have a scent though, that's interesting. Another set of new skincare products is from goodal, and you guys know I love me some goodal. I love their Vitamin C toner pads, those are my favorites. I've raved about them a ton of times this year. And they came out with their new Camellia Moisture Barrier line. So they have the toner, the ampoule, and eye cream, and also just the cream. Goodal in general, I really like their products. I think they're affordable, they work great, and I think that you're getting a much more better, higher quality than what you're paying for. So the toner and the ampoule are really great. I feel like if you also have dehydrated skin. And then this cream, wow, this has got to be the heaviest cream that I've come across this year for the winter, and I only do use this during the night just because in the morning, even for me, this does feel heavy on my skin. But it doesn't have any oiliness. I do feel like this is more, it has more hydration to it, it has more water in it than oil or fat. So if you're not into anything that's sticky or gets oily, I really do recommend this product as well. And let me just mention guys, this cream has ceramide in it, and I've noticed that a lot of people with drier skin prefer products with ceramide in them. And ceramide is a fat molecule, I believe, that we already have on our skin. However, with the sunlight, with the external stressors, they do deplete away. So it's great to restore them by using ceramide products like this. So yeah. For the eye cream, I haven't tried this long enough to see if it actually works on my wrinkles. I like the texture so far. It's very light. So I think if you're maybe in your 20s, early 20s, mid 20s, I think this is a great product to start off with. Oh yeah, it's just been really pleasant. Alright, the skincare products, I've been very impressed, and let's move along to the base, so the makeup products. So let me start off with these two foundations. So this is the Tony Moly Double Cover Foundation, and this is the Wake Make Defining Setup Foundation. And these are both semi-matte, have high coverage. For me, they kind of came across kind of similar just because of their whole concept, but they are slightly different, especially first the shade and their tones. This one does apply more naturally on my skin shade. It has more of a yellow tone, but the Tony Moly one has more of a grayish undertone. Both of them work fine, but I feel like I do reach out for the Wake Make one a bit better. However, with the Wake Make one, I do prefer using a foundation brush, just because if I just go in with my regular sponge that I use all the time, I do find that it goes a little bit cakey. It can apply a bit too thick. So the foundation brush that I've just been loving is this 고원해. Oh my gosh, number 7. I know this is a collab with like one of the brush tool brands, but anyways, this foundation brush, even though it's tiny, I wish it was a bit more bigger, but this foundation brush works so well with this foundation. It just applies so well and just sticks onto your skin, and I've just been loving the heck out of this. And then for the 21-in-1, I feel like this one does go on a bit more lighter than the Wake Make one, but they are kind of similar. And as for the longevity, both of them have been working great even though they're semi-matte. Now you may be asking, but Sue, you said you have really dehydrated skin in the winter. Why would you go in for a semi-matte foundation? Let me break it down for you guys. So even though it's really cold outside, when I step onto the subway and the bus, I don't know about you guys, but it's really, really warm in there because not only have they put on the heater, and I'm wearing layers and layers and layers of clothes. So once I step inside, I start sweating, and you guys know I sweat like there's no tomorrow. And so when I use these hold up very, very well against my skin, and these aren't too overly drying. So I feel like it just works for me right now with the sweat and the transport and with the cold weather outside. I know guys, it's a very stressful time for our skin, but you gotta deal, right? However, I do feel like I need to use a very, very light hand with these because they can get a little messy. On the same line as the Wake Make Defining Setup foundation, I have the cushion and the concealer. The cushion is pretty similar to the foundation, but just because I feel like I can get a better control of how much amount I apply onto the skin, I do prefer the foundation more than the cushion. With the cushion, because the cushion picks up quite a lot of product, sometimes it can get a little bit too thick on my skin. So the formula is pretty much the same. It's got a semi-matte finish, high coverage, sells really well onto the skin, I will say. So if you have combination skin, I feel like you'll really enjoy this. And if you sweat a lot in like public transport like myself, you will also enjoy this one as well. The concealer, I'm very, very impressed. Like, okay, I'm impressed with most of the products that I've shown you guys, but this one in particular, wow, this, in terms of like how much coverage, it's not like, I don't know, let's say the NARS or the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion one, but this one, it goes on so lightly, applies like sticker onto your skin. So using the right concealer brush, this is a beauty. So I really have been enjoying this a lot. It's not as hydrating as the Tosem concealer that I used to use like all the time. This one is definitely more on the drier and the more matte side, but yeah, nonetheless, excellent concealer. All right, now let's talk about a product that I wasn't so impressed about, and I'm so sad about this one because I wanted to love it so bad, and it's the Roman Zero Cushion. So this is the new cushion released by Roman, and prior to purchasing this, I had heard so many great things about it. You know how it goes on light. I mean, it is called 0 gram, right? How it goes on light, how it lasts you like entire day without getting messy, how beautiful it looks on the skin, but it just didn't work for me, especially in the category of longevity. This will settle like crazy into my smile lines, and for me that rarely happens. I mean, it doesn't happen with these foundations, and these are semi-matte, right? Didn't happen with the cushion, that one is also semi-matte, right? Now when I first apply it though, it looks on great. It does seem to have a little bit of thickness, so it does have really great coverage. It's kind of like in between a semi-matte and kind of like a moisturizing one, but with time it just gets like so messy in my smile line. So I was so sad. I was really sad this didn't work out for me. I feel like maybe I did overdo it. Maybe I applied on too much when I first applied it, so I am gonna give this another go. Yeah, so that is my first impression. Alrighty, moving on to some more flashy and colorful stuff. I have the new Holika Piece Matching Shadow Palette, and this is the third palette they came out with, and this is the My Birthday one, and I picked up some foil shark shadows. So these are foil shadows. So, for some reason I thought this would be a very cool mauve-ish kind of pink, but it's very warm. So it's the eyeshadow that I have on right now, but at the end of the day, get a very strong color of orange. So these are very warm pinks, warm oranges. The quality is great. I think Holika does a great job in these palettes. Most Rosha palettes I don't think are up to par to their single eyeshadows. Single eyeshadows are great all around. But palettes, I feel like, okay, we can do a little bit better. But the Holika ones are decent, I feel like. And it also has great range of glitters, shimmers, mattes. So the color coordination, the formula coordination is great, oh great in this palette. Let me move on to the foil shadows, which I was a bit confused about. Okay, so these are foil shadows and these are sticky. Like, very sticky, like glue sticky. I'm not kidding, guys. Oh my gosh, this hair won't fall off. Be right back in a sec. As I was saying, these are very sticky. So with foil shadows, for me, I imagined that I would use my fingers. I did use my fingers actually. I use my fingers to apply them, but once I start kind of swirling them, it clumps up because they're so sticky and they kind of ball up. So I don't know how I feel about this foil shadows. And I end up wasting so much product because I don't need this much on my eyelids. You guys know what I'm saying? I tried using a flat brush, I tried using a thicker brush, and nothing seemed to work. Especially with the brush, I feel like it doesn't go on the brush evenly, right? So, and it is a pity because these two shades are beautiful shades. For me, I don't think I'm skilled enough to handle them. They are too sticky, they ball up really easily, so I'd say pass on these. I'm sorry. Last but not least, I have this beautiful holiday cute collection from Etude House. This is their tiny twinkle collection. So there's an eyeshadow palette with 9 colors, and then you have this lovely ornament, Christmas ornament, and then you open it up and you get 3 glitter shades. The quality of these products are actually decent. They're not too bad. So you have this eyeshadow palette with 9 shades. These are very warm tones, by the way. These actually work great quality. You have mattes, shimmers, your glitter pigment. They all work great, so I was very impressed. One thing I don't like is the packaging. The glitter gets everywhere, I swear. And then this little ornament, you have the 3 glitter shades, and also these 3 glitter shades are really great. They work better than the Holika foil shadows actually. You get this kind of lavender lilac, very cool tone shade, and you get the gold one, and then you get the pink rose gold pink one. They're fantastic, they blend out nicely, so I have nothing to complain about them actually. Yeah, great job Etude House. So that was it for this video. I went through a bunch of new releases this month and I hope you guys enjoyed. I do feel like this month's new releases, I did get to try them out for a really long time, like longer than usual, so I feel like my first impressions are kind of now my opinions about them. But yeah, if anything changes, I will obviously correct myself. And also, I will be showing you some of these products in my next Get Ready With Me, which will be up this week very soon, I hope. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at _kbeauty. And I'll see you guys in the next. Ciao!